What's up? Welcome to Grayling Imprint TV. This is a video that should really benefit you if you are a graphic designer or a graphic design specialist that's just getting started. This is the complete guide to networking and getting clients in graphic design. Let's get started on this video and let's share with you the notes that I learned about this whole subject, and I hope this really helps you out. If you like my video at the end, please subscribe to it and don't forget to hit the like button, please. Alright. Being social and talking a lot and being nice and respectful is the key to getting clients, and it's crucial to finding clients in the graphic design field. I've uncovered the complete guide to networking and getting clients in this study that I've been doing for the last few days. You may have seen my past videos, and I was briefly touching in short videos on this subject, and I'm getting into more depth with this whole subject in this final review of the notes that I took from the whole study. And this study, let me tell you, I've been working on for about 7 days straight. So, getting clients is the key, like I said, because the bigger your network is, the more referrals you get. These are the notes I took. Graphic design. In graphic design, there is 5 foolproof ways to get clients. Let me tell you what they are. Number 1, post your work on Instagram. And I'm going to add on to that, also post your portfolio and your work, your best quality pieces in a site like Behance, which is great if you have a portfolio full of complicated branding pieces. Or I would do Ripple if you're more of a logo designer. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want to do, but I would look into both of those, Ripple and Behance, and make your own decision on that. Number 2, asking local businesses in town or your city, get business cards made, and whether they're major corporations or not, give it a shot and see if they need a graphic designer. It never hurts to ask. Number 4, teach what you know on YouTube about graphic design, and also inform people on blog posts. I would do Facebook groups, I would do Instagram, I would do LinkedIn groups, and another one I would really like to mention that really is helpful is Quora. Quora is a great site to answer people's questions about graphic design. Do not spam on there. But if you answer questions for other people about graphic design, it's more likely, if you do it in a non-spammy way, it's more likely that they're going to check out your profile on Quora and they're going to follow you, because on your profile you should state that you are a graphic designer if you are. So, number 5 is ask your friends and family if they need a graphic designer. Word of mouth gets out. If you ask a friend or family member to start with people you know, and you do a good piece of graphic design work for you, it's going to spread like wildfire. Let me tell you, you're going to get their friends and their family members to be calling you next after you do work for one person. They're going to spread the word on to their parents or to their brothers or to their family members, and it's going to spread like wildfire. So, next, graphic design contracts are important to cover yourself legally as a graphic designer, and to make sure if anything goes wrong, you always, as a graphic designer, want to have a legal contract with any clientele that you work for. Always send a contract or invoice to clients and keep one professionally typed up and printed for yourself in case of legal issues. How do you get clients to find you, one may ask, as a graphic designer? It all boils down to how you brand yourself. That's really what it is. Your brand is what you do it for, how you do it, and why you do it. That's exactly what your brand is. Your your content strategy is who, what, and why as a graphic designer. Always have a great portfolio, really good portfolio with your best quality pieces in it, and that will always work for you when you pass it out to somebody and have them view your work. They're gonna look at your work and decide if your work is what they're looking for. How do you stand out as a graphic designer, one may ask? The biggest tip I can give you on this is focus. Focus is a major part of how you stand out as a graphic designer, and so is your brand. Find the what, who, and why, and go all in as a graphic designer. Don't just go part way in and dap your toes in it. Go full force all the way in it and go for it. Go all in. Stand out. And what do you want to stand out for? You gotta figure it out. You gotta brand yourself to stand out for what you wanna stand out for that includes your values. Make goals and keep goals. It's important to stay organized and keep a schedule. The definition of graphic design is the process of visual communication and problem solving using one or more of the following: typography, photography, or illustration. Graphic design portfolio should feature your best work and not all of it, just a few of your really good best graphic design pieces is what you want to put in your portfolio. Like I said, a good place what I use is Behance because some of my branding projects are more complicated, but I also specialize in logo design, so it's totally up to you what you want to use. Another good site, if you don't want to use Behance because your work is not about, you don't do branding, let's say, and you want to do less complicated work and you have less complicated work in your portfolio, well then I would go ahead and check out Graphi. Graphic design portfolio, like I said, needs to feature all of your quality work that you have between, I would say, 5 to 20 pieces at the most to start off. You can always build on it. You want to get traffic to your portfolio using blogs to write graphic design articles that link to your portfolio. Right now my portfolio is on Behance and Instagram I use too, and I also want to add this. I also went ahead and I put my Behance portfolio link in all my social networking descriptions, and I put my portfolio link in at the bottom of every YouTube video, and I just started doing that recently. I wasn't doing it in the past, but I started doing that recently. And I basically put that link in any social networking description or post that I post, and I just started doing that recently, so it's working really well for me. Use Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. These are the most important social networking sites. Use creative networks as well. Creative networks would be Google Plus and, like I said, Behance. I am a big user of Behance as a graphic designer. Behance is one of my favorite places to create projects and to follow other graphic designers and stuff like that, and it's where I have posted my portfolio. Specialize in a certain field. You won't be able to specialize in every field in graphic design, So I would choose what you're good at, what your passion is, and what you want to specialize in. For me, I specialize in logo design as a graphic design specialist. Let me show you something. Right there is my graphic design specialist certification, and there's some of my work right there. Alright. Alright, and another great thing that you're going to want to do as a graphic designer is join local networking conferences for graphic design. They do charge a fee, but go all in, like I said, and go for it. It's important to join networking groups for graphic design in your local area. Go to friends and family first for clients. That will get you started because, like I said, word of mouth spreads like wildfire. If you do a good piece of graphic design work for family or friend, they're going to spread the word and they're going to get more possible leads, and you're going to get a lot more work as a freelancer. Do not use sites like Fiverr because they make you charge way too low, and your time as a graphic design specialist is valuable. As a freelancer, there's going to be times when you're not making any money at all. So sites like Fiverr charging $5 for a logo design is really just ripping yourself off. Show off your work and experience. Don't brag about it, be respectful, but you do want to show it off, and I try to show my work off in an educational way on YouTube and social networking sites to give value to other people. You could charge what the quality of your work demands because your time is valuable, and that's key. Find legitimate freelance websites that have a filter for pricing is another good tip I can give you from my study. Pitching your design services is really important aspect of being a graphic design specialist. An example of pitching your design services would be a mission statement. And here's an example of a mission statement that I wrote out. We believe graphic design is true passion, and quality design takes experience. We have experience, we do quality work that's within your budget. And that is actually my pitch for my company, which my company is called This Life Is Not Pretend Grayling Design. You can check out thislifeisnotpretendgraylingdesign.com, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below, along with my Behance graphic design portfolio link. I'll have those two links right at the bottom in the description. If you would please check that out, I would appreciate it. Keep all referrals you have and that you get on Gmail or your email account every time you get one. That's a very important tip that I found out right away within the first few months of being a freelance graphic designer. Networking means everything and is a skill you will get better at. There's always room for learning. There's always time for you to make a mistake. And when you're a starting business, like hell, even I have already created some mistakes being a freelance graphic designer for 2 years, and I already have made mistakes. Humans aren't perfect. You just learn from those mistakes. You push forward past those mistakes and those barriers, and you just keep going and you learn from it and fix it. That's all you can really do as a graphic designer. You have to constantly rebuild your network and constantly maintain it. These are networking tips for graphic designers. You have to constantly rebuild your networking list and constantly maintain it. You have to constantly network is another tip for networking. The more you network, the better you'll get, as I already said a couple times in this video. Clients come from word of mouth and people that you know, like I said a little bit earlier in this video. Most jobs come from connections that you have at companies you work for. It's always good to have your own graphic design freelancing business, but if you are expecting to get any kind of income that you're gonna live off of, you have to have a freelancing business as well as work at an actual corporation or company that does graphic design at the same time. You have to juggle these things. If you ever want to make a living off this, it's very important to do that. Networking is about giving back and giving back value to other people. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about giving value back to other people and helping the community. Someone that gives value to somebody else and helps the community as a kind person is much more likely to get more clients and clientele and business partners and leads than someone that doesn't. Network with, number 1, people that you know. Number 2, people that you went to school with. Number 3, people at the jobs you work at. Meet people every time you can, everywhere you go, and every job you work at. When people change a job, your network grows. Your connections will connect you with a much broader range of referrals or other connections. Connect with people that specialize in other graphic design areas than you do. Hell, I would even connect with some people you do and build a team. That's what successful graphic designers do. Build networks of specialized partners is another tip. Those people can help your jobs or your business and help you get new clients. Always keep a record of all your clients and work and keep it organized. And I recommend keeping notepads for each client in a file and keep it in one file so you don't have stuff laying all over the place that you'll never find again or they get misplaced. Always keep a record, like I said. Join and invest in graphic design networks, like I already said. They do charge a fee, but hell, a small fee is worth 10 to 20 or more leads for paying that small fee. And you know your jobs are gonna bring that back times 10 or more anyways, so. Join and invest in graphic design networks. So use Facebook groups to network and LinkedIn groups and actively be involved and be professional in these groups every day. You never want to spam. Never spam on any networking sites. That's very unprofessional and it will get people to refuse to give you business, or you will never get business doing that. Join or start a mastermind group on Google Plus or find paid ones online. Get physical and social, ask people out for coffee or lunch. Get to know people personally. It doesn't always have to be about work. It's very important to do this. What are some common business mistakes that entrepreneurs make with graphic design, one may ask? Number 1, you need to get paid first and up front. You cannot get your payment after you've done all your work, because what if you never get that payment and you are involved in legal issues because of the contract you signed? Number 2, put together a proposal and talk to clients about a budget up front. And I also want to add on to that. Also, tell your clients up front, tell them exactly what is possible if something went wrong with the services you're offering. You always want to write this up and include it in a professional contract. There are books out there at Barnes & Noble that you can go and take and photocopy the contracts for graphic design, run a photocopier, and you can automatically just give yourself a copy of that and give your client a copy of that in case any legal issues come up because they are giving you as a freelance graphic designer a good portion of their money. So it's always important to do that. Get the remaining 25%. Hold on, let me back up. I'm sorry. Like I said on that last point that I stated, maybe charge up front 75% of what your graphic design job is charging. Get the other remaining 25% paid when you deliver the design work to the client. And make sure it's all written up legally in your legal contract as a graphic designer. Learn how to bid and research online what it means to bid if you're unaware of what bidding means in business. Bidding means to basically put a price on your product or services that's realistic and not too low and not too high. Don't bid too low or too high. Be realistic, like I said, and do your homework and research about the market that you're trying to sell to. Moving on in this study, I hope this video is really helping you, and I really have planned this video out and put it together to my best of abilities so I could educate everybody on this whole study that I've been studying, because I find it really interesting to me and this is my passion. So anyways, you need production managers to get the clients and head of production managers which do the bidding, make calls, and close the jobs. Avoid people who do both, because people that do both are going to do one or the other less effectively than somebody that just focuses in one area. Sales and marketing is everything. 2 ways to make money is: number 1, bid high and build a cushion of profit. Number 2, spend less money to produce a project. I wouldn't go buy real expensive $2,000 red leather chairs at a Modern Living furniture place. Why not go to a thrift store and get a nice piece of furniture for your office for less than 20 bucks? Important, it is about how much a graphic designer keeps after paying expenses and taxes. Basically that's the key to how you're gonna make money. In other words, is to always remember it is about how much a graphic designer keeps after paying expenses and taxes, so you don't get confused when you go and put a price on your services. You might accidentally rip yourself off if you don't keep that in mind. Very important, the client has as much power as you are willing to give them. So bring all possible problems to the client up front by talking about it and writing it up in the contract. How do you sell your service without much experience to show? So number 1, sell your company mostly on your confidence, so it really don't matter. If you're confident enough to do it and you're good enough to do it, then there is no reason that you need to have all sorts of experience to start doing what you love. Sell yourself as a problem solver, a business designer, and sell your confidence with assurance. Sell who you are and not what you do. It's not about your design work. It's about the personality, because someone's personality is going to make more percentage of the sale, and the way somebody's personality is going to be the biggest part and role in making a sale. It's less of a percentage in making a sale of how good your work is than it is of how good a person you are. How do you write a mission statement, one may ask? Think about what you value or what value you have for your customers. It's not about you. By profiling who are your customers and what problems they have that you can solve. How do you budget if there happens to be a mistake in a project and deal with it, one may ask, as a graphic designer or someone even interested in pursuing this career. Number 1, be careful how you bid. Don't bid too low and don't bid too high. Be very upfront. that you are a small startup business or a small business. How you're supposed to bid. First, don't guess a calculation. Guesstimates are never truly correct. You will always rip yourself off as a graphic design specialist from what I learned if you do get any guesses without actually doing the math. How do you prevent a cash flow issue? Number 1, get a line of credit. Number 2, rent everything. Number 3, buy cheaper equipment and stuff. Number 4, stuff means etc. Give me a break. Number 4, keep your expenses down. 5, save any profits, don't blow it immediately. Number 6, take smart risks, not dumb risks. I'm not trying to be rude, but you cannot make dumb decisions. You have to base any risk you're going to take basically off your brain. You got to be smart about it. Don't risk something in a dumb way. What is a good company culture and how do you manage your team? Company culture is key and it's most important. Just keep that in mind. What values are important to you is key. How are other companies ran well is another factor in that. Do market research well and efficiently and learn how to manage your time efficiently and well. And I would recommend reading any books about graphic design and just start your own collection of books in your own library on graphic design literature and watch and learn online about graphic design as much as you can. It will really help you out in the long run. Use Evernote to organize your business and try FreshNote too. Those are 2 great products and softwares that we use. Honestly, I haven't gotten into those myself. I'm not that far along. I'm a startup company myself, and I'm a startup graphic designer. So I haven't really got a chance to be able to invest in that yet, but I plan on it very shortly. I will invest in that. Pick your client base and do market research. That's a key. You need a .com website, no free websites, and use a good mic and equipment such as the Blue Yeti, and use a good camera for Skype or YouTube, and it's important to look professional. I'm not using a very professional equipment